I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while, and basically all it's going to be about, hopefully be quicker than my last videos, is a video on how I classify EVPs. Because let's face it, all the EVPs we get, they're not all great. Some of them suck, some of them are mind-blowing, and some are in the middle. So there's really, the way how I categorize EVPs is like a three-tiered system that I think I got from ghost hunters when I first got into paranormal, I guess, investigations 12 years ago or so, when I first started to get interested in it, and I've adhered to that over the years. So as I said, there's three different types of EVPs that I use as almost like a nomenclature, classification system. There's Class C EVPs. Honestly, for me, Class C EVPs, I generally don't include them in any footage I put online or when I submit to the group for evidence review. Class Cs I generally don't even pay attention to. Some people out there might be cringing at that, but the reason why is because to me what a Class C EVP is it's the worst of the EVPs, and quite honestly, Class C EVPs are so indistinguishable from an organic noise that may not have been paranormal, whatever that may be, to the point where I can't credibly call this an EVP. So I almost, you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just have a two-tiered system, which I guess I kind of do. A Class C EVP, though, there's just so much guesswork to it. Maybe, if I had something where it was definitely a voice, but you couldn't make out whatever it was saying, and you knew it wasn't a voice of somebody in your group, then I would call it a Class C, and I actually would include that. To me, that's a Class C. Class C, I guess I should rephrase that, is probably it's an EVP where you just have no clue what it's saying, but it's got that telltale EVP, I guess, quality or tone to it, the breathy, sometimes electronic noise to it. Those I would pass on, but I don't come in contact with those a lot, honestly. Class C EVPs, for whatever reason, most of the EVPs I get are not Class Cs. Class B EVP is one step above a Class C, and that's one where it's definitely an EVP. It's nobody in your group. It's no outside audio contamination. You've ruled that out, but it's a voice that either needs editing, or it needs editing maybe to kind of confirm what you think it's saying, or the editing, it's basically you're not sure what it's saying, but you know it's saying something. There might be a lot of debate within your group on, oh, I think it's saying this, or I think it's saying that. Class B EVPs, those are probably the ones I capture the most, honestly. Class B, so I'd say that's how I personally, I guess, quantify a Class B. And Class A, obviously, is the kind of gold standard of EVPs. They should be crisp, clear, phonetically or syllabically, however you pronounce that word. It should be no-brainer what it's saying, A Class A EVP is what we all strive for. A Class A EVP is also what we would send to other groups or skeptics. They'll say, at least with a Class A EVP, a skeptic will say, okay, that was somebody else, or you faked that. They should be that good. They should sound almost conversational. As far as, like the audible quality, they should be. Then you can't have a Class A EVP that's quiet, but generally you want them to be loud. Now, if I had a Class A EVP that was quiet, then I'm still going to call it a Class A. For me, the biggest things with the Class A, though, are it has to be crisp and clear, has to be loud, and it has to be unmistakable. There should be no guesswork involved. It should be just case closed. Oh my God, this is what this is saying. For good reference, here's one Class A EVP we captured about 3 years ago at a private residence that's mainly used for, it's only used for a commercial business. But we captured this one there at night, one of the rare ones we've captured with headphones on. And it's pretty self-explanatory what it says, so take a listen to this.
Whoa. You see that quick reflex he got there? I too am not too bad. Kind of impressed with myself. I'm very impressed with myself. Did you say something? impressed with myself. I'm very impressed with myself. Did you say something? I'm impressed with myself. I'm very impressed with myself. Did you say something? Mark that at 6:15-ish. Did you say like awesome or something? Do you want to play? If you want to play, say something else.
So that there is a Class A EVP without a doubt. That was like 2 something in the morning. We were in a little house. There was no audio contamination around us. It was a big property. There were no houses stacked right next to it. And it was clearly like a feminine or a child's voice. It sounded like almost like a young girl maybe. That's a Class A. Another Class A here that I'm about to play is when we were at Prospect Place or Trinway Mansion in Trinway, Ohio. This is one of the EVPs that if you play this as well as the last one, but especially this one to somebody that doesn't believe in the paranormal or are new to EVPs, they might think you're forging evidence or mistaking somebody else in your group. But this was at Trinway Mansion, Prospect Place, Prospect Mansion, whatever you want to call it, 2015 or 16. I want to say 16. And it's just crystal clear what we captured. There's no doubting what it says. It's a Class A. So this was in our command room. It was me, 2 other investigators. We were reviewing some previous evidence that happened maybe 10 minutes before we heard a loud bang, which kind of confirms the EVP because, you know, it means that there was likely activity going on at that time. So check this one out. So what's interesting about that one there is too, if you listen to it or rewind it or pause it or whatever, it has almost like a British type dialect to it, which is fascinating to me. I don't know what the dialect was in this area back in the day. Maybe they had that type of tone, I guess, to their voice, but that's a Class A. I could play some Class Bs. I guess as far as Class Bs, I don't know. I didn't really think of any that I could use for this, that I could merge into this. But a really important thing that we're starting to do soon. I'm very good at knowing who in our group is whose voice is whose. Very good at it, but at the same time, I think to up our professionalism, we should have some type of camera on our face the whole time, at least everybody's face, to where we hear something on your audio and we're like, oh my goodness, you know, so this file, we captured something, and this EVP session started at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it was 20 minutes, 14 seconds into it. So then we'll go on our cameras, look at about 8:50, and search around that time mark, and if we see somebody's lips moving while that happens, you can throw it out. I think a lot of groups, and we've probably done it in the past, where we've mistaken certain things for EVPs. Generally Class Bs, though. Class A's to us, the 2 that I posted below, you know, I'll swear my soul, weren't us. You know, and that kind of segues into another video I'm going to make eventually. Basically, theories or practices, you know, experiments to, I guess, invoke EVPs and my thoughts on that. So I hope this clears some stuff up for you. I see so many people these days posting stuff online calling it a Class A, with the especially with the Panasonic RR-DR60, and they're calling them Class A's, and it's like a Class C at best. You know, but I've said it in my past videos. I'm big on standards. We have to maintain uniform code as best as possible, which is tough across this many teams, and there's no oversight committee in this. There's just snobs like myself, but we need to keep the standards high, and that's why to me a Class A is just fascinating. Fascinating proof of some type of different reality, I guess. So if you got any questions, comments, leave us a like, comment, a dislike if you want. I've had a few of those on my videos. There are probably people that own the Panasonic audio recorder. We've recently done investigations at the old Blackford County Jail in Hartford City, Indiana. Awesome place, beautiful building, neat history there. And then we did the month after that Randolph County Infirmary in Winchester, Indiana. Both cool places, both owned by the same people. Would recommend going to both. Both are awesome places with different things to offer. In September of 2018, about a month from now, we're going to be doing Malvern Manor. Really excited for that. We've had great luck at Malvern Manor. We've been there, I want to say 2 times now, and both times we've been there, we've gotten really good EVPs. The first time we were there, we captured that was another thing I wanted to say in this video. We captured an EVP that it's a Class A, and I'm kind of going against my standards here, my criteria, but it's a Class A EVP, and on a lot of speakers you hear it and it says "let the show begin." Now if you listen to it on my computer, it says "let the shit begin." I mean, it's clear. It's clear that it's saying something different, which to me leads me to another point. With your EVPs, try and listen to them on multiple different playback sources. You'd be surprised at how different they can sound on some of them. It's pretty interesting, because when we first captured that EVP, I was so adamant on it saying "let the shit begin," and everybody else in my group were like, "No, it's saying "let the show begin." And I let other people listen to it outside of the group, and some were saying, "No, I hear "let the show begin." It's pretty clear." Other people were saying "let the shit begin." And then I listened to it on our lead investigator's computer one night, and it sounded like "let the show begin," and I was just blown away. So that also affects, I guess, what you classify an EVP as. Ultimately, though, a Class A EVP is just a great piece of audio evidence that your ears didn't pick up, not a disembodied voice. I hear people call disembodied voices EVPs. They're not the same to me. Disembodied voice is if I was standing here, or sitting here, I guess, and you hear somebody in the corner say hello, like with your own ears. A disembodied voice, I guess you could call an EVP a disembodied voice, but for sake of dialogue or conversation or classifying things, to me a disembodied voice is a voice that you hear with your own ears, and it wasn't something that you didn't hear that your audio recorder captured, and those are exceptionally rare. I've never had a true, clear, disembodied voice. We've heard noises that sound like voices in the distance, but they weren't anything like, a hello, which is next to full body apparition. A disembodied voice is probably like close to the holy grail of paranormal, I guess, evidence. Then you've got shadow figures and stuff too, which we've never captured, but I do believe people do capture those. I just think, again, those are exceptionally rare. So I rambled on again. To recap though, EVPs, make sure you do your best to have videos on your faces so you don't mistake a person's voice for an EVP. Granted, if you've been with that group of people for a while, you're going to get pretty good at noticing people's voices. If you capture anybody in your group who whispers a lot, always call them out. Not in a jerk way, but just say, "that was so-and-so." That way, when you record her, you hear it and you're like, "Oh my goodness," and then 3 seconds later, like, "that was so-and-so," and I go, okay. But putting video on people's faces is huge. Listen on multiple playback devices, because it sounds different on each one sometimes. Class C, no clue what it's saying, might not even be an EVP, but there's also the higher category, I guess, Class C EVPs, where you hear them, and it's a voice. It's not you guys, you're sure of that, but you have no clue what it's saying. Class B EVP, there is, I don't want to say pareidolia because that's too strong of a word, but a Class B EVP, you're not sure what it's saying. There's some debate, and some people's ears or their brain is thinking it's saying one thing, and the other person's thinking it's saying something else. But you both agree it's an EVP. It's a voice that you didn't hear with your own ears. Your audio recorder captured. So that's Class B, and then Class A is just the gold standard. Again, it's something where it's crisp, it's clear, Hopefully it's loud, doesn't have to be loud, but it's crisp, clear, and there's no doubt on what it's saying. And it's not you guys, of course. You've ruled that out. You've done your great investigation debunking skills. So, yeah, I hope that helps. I cringe when I see people put out stuff and like, this is a Class A, and it's coming from like a Panasonic DR60, and it sounds like somebody's stepping on a bag of Rice Krispies mixed with bubble wrap or something. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Hope that helps. Most people probably know this, but it's something I've been thinking about lately and wanted to get off my chest. Thanks.